Hello everybody, Truck here, and let's read the journal entries. Let's start with light. The light is not the enemy of darkness, quite the contrary. It is its complementary, a sister praised too much in the past. The world is based on this lie, the belief that the light necessarily represents the good that is opposed to the shadows and bans them. The balance between the two has always been in favor of blazing bright parts of a part of the creation, but no one has ever realized the importance of equality between them. Light and shadow are the same entity, the same essence pervading the cosmos. When one of the two prevails, change is inevitable. Nothing remains equal to itself over time, and the metamorphosis does not always lead to the order of chaos. I can feel it, the dazzling power of light coming out from my hand. An absolute sense of grace radiated from my hand after I said Lume Tial for the first time, and the darkness knelt before me. Beam of light. When the light arises, the darkness feels it. Contrary to what you might think, she does not flee, but rather seeks it. When the dazzling sprout flows from your hands, don't you hear someone approaching? Your shoulders do not suddenly become heavy as if something was upon you. The darkness is not afraid. She has no reason to be, because she yearns to meet her sister light. The meat soaked with darkness can be blinded, but the darkness will never fear. When you make yourself lord of the light, remember that the shadows will guide you with the hand as long as your life does not leave you, and you feel them feast on your soul. Aren't you happy? You're our sister too now. What I know just now is that saying Ecto Lume is enough to cast a ray of pure light from my hand. As a hint on how its energy can be used, the inscription stated enigmatically that the right color feeds the right mechanism. Mark of Command. Will is a power often underestimated. Determination can lead to incredible results. Being able to impose your own will to other living beings is one of the greatest gifts you could wish for. Be this imposition overt or hidden, it does not matter, but controlling without having a predetermined plan is madness. Nothing is more damaging than the unexpected. Create your own spiderweb, cradle your ambitions for many years as necessary. Wait patiently and always look back to find your mistakes and rectify them. Objects bearing the Mark of Command can be activated by pointing at them and saying Tial Uda. This is not properly a spell, it is more like an order that the object is able to understand and execute. Therefore I can use these words even when I have another spell active in my hand. What makes you an intelligent being? It's not your hands, nor your eyes, but your mind. Even a beast can control its hand and react thanks to its sight. But how many can make a shield and a sword out of nothing? You are not your body, you are your mind. The pile of flesh that throbs in your skull is only the vehicle. The real you cannot be seen nor heard. But it can be perceived. And the darkness as well as the light is watching you. The more you use your mind, the more you progress, and the more they know where you are. Everything has changed. Once they were good, they lived for us. But the betrayal of our minds has not gone unnoticed nor unpunished. And although the story has changed, everything this is the same. The truth has set us free, but maybe that was our ruin. I'm writing this just now with the power of my mind. What I only needed to say was Obi Kenu, and the quills started moving according to my thoughts. Moreover, the rune said that objects can be moved nearer and farther while manipulating them, saying Ecto Namet or Namet Ecto. Is my mind really that strong? I'm starting to feel something inside me. I can't say what it is, but still, something is really changing in me. The flesh is a scheme already predetermined. To know its meanders allows you to give orders to it. These orders can be to die, but also to live. Your shell is fragile, your mind is strong. Balance is the key to this universe, and the living beings are the ones that move to the scale. They also have no balance, not any longer. Being in equilibrium attracts them. You become like a ripple in a quiet puddle, like a spray of blood in a field of white flowers. If it is the salvation of the body you are looking for, you may not find it in taking care of your flesh. The dangers of this place are often very concrete, and often I was wounded. Fortunately now, magic can help me. Using the formula Yega Mide, when I'm in a stretch of water, my body regenerates from its wounds. And now there's a bit more. The Mahakey language. I spent years studying the idiom known as Mahakey, which means the language of the creative deities, yet I only scratched the surface. Although I had examined numerous artifacts that reported scriptures in this language coming from places even very far from each other, I was able to interpret only a few fragments. Now in the entrance hall of this temple, whose existence was not even a certainty, something happened. Now I have a total understanding of the Mahakey. In the past, I did not believe in the legends, but there is power in these written characters. The symbol of the command. I don't know much about that rune. Maybe I don't have everything I need to move on from here yet. It seems like a kind of altar, the kind they used to perform strange rituals in front of. I don't know how to use it. I need to pay attention to the inscriptions I find. They might shed some light on the matter. I was transported to a completely different world where the normal laws of nature do not apply. In this magical place I met an otherworldly-looking creature. She introduced herself as Veritas, the source of all truth. I don't know anything about her, but I think she wants to help me in my journey. I can feel it, even if her reasons are entirely unclear to me. The formula that she taught me gives me great power over the temple, and without it my journey would probably end here. At every door I walk through, at every hallway I cross, and in every room I visit, the temple puts me in front of new difficulties. But it also shows incredible wonders, teaches me new, powerful spells, and gives me the tools to continue. But do I really want to go on? Will I be able to pass the tests that I will be faced with? Will I be able to endure the sacrifices that will be asked? I don't know. It does not matter. I have no alternatives. Only here I can find the power that I seek. The pendant is the key! It's only thanks to this that I could get this far. The last gift of my beloved Leaf was my salvation, though she certainly had no idea. I wish I hadn't needed it, and that was still with her. The magic that I'm learning in my journey has many uses. Now I am also capable of treating my wounds. Perhaps with such power, I could have saved Leaf, but it's too late. I must keep going on. Maybe I'll find a way to defeat death and bring her back to me. Now let's go into the lore, I believe. In the beginning, there was chaos. With the passing of the eras, chaos aggregated into a single physical mass. Other aeons passed, and the agglomeration took on a conscience. In each moment of its existence, it would scrutinize the entire infinite space, and so for a time, it was immense. Then it saw in the universe the birth of something that remotely reminded it of itself. An intelligent life was born, and that was followed by many others, the same but different, all sharing the ability to consciously change the world that surrounded them. So its attention shifted from observing endlessly the birth of powerless pieces of the universe to prying greedily into the lives of these beings. But one day something disturbing happened. These living entities began to worship something undefined that they had never seen, heard, or perceived, which was, in their opinion, omniscient and omnipotent. The names attributed by them were the most diverse, but it was obvious to Chaos that the being was himself, since there was nobody else in the infinite remotely comparable to him. Learning the enchantment of the light ray was one of the highest aspirations of the young pilgrims. The most vain among them showed off their skills by bouncing the light and creating intricate compositions, but the most arrogant used it to blind the neighbor. The wisest, instead, used it only when necessary because they respected its power, to be able to energize and animate powerless things on which was applied the seal of light. The eye of the Trinity watches you, but you do not have to reciprocate. You must go to it with bowed head and without haste, because patience is a duty of the pilgrim. Only in his presence and not before one can contemplate its greatness, waiting for the judgment of the divinity. If you will be considered pure of intent, you will have the benevolence of Veritas. Alright guys, be sure to like, comment, and or subscribe. And I would definitely suggest picking up this game if it isn't too expensive. Difficult puzzles, interesting control scheme using your actual voice is a great way of doing it, I believe, and the music's very good, creates a great atmosphere. It's actually kind of scary, but thrilling as well. Usually I don't like horror, but somehow I really like this game. Lumetial. Yeah, I would suggest picking it up if it's not too expensive, and yeah, be sure to like, comment, and or subscribe, and I'll be sure to post more of the videos.